Hello and welcome to Line Noise, and let's talk Wendy Carlos's soundtrack to A Clockwork Orange, which is what I've been writing about today in Substack. So I've long been thinking like, what was my introduction to electronic music? I've written before about house music on top of the pops and the Pet Shop Boys and Kraftwerk and that kind of thing. And then the other day I was thinking about it. I remembered how my parents had the soundtrack to A Clockwork Orange among their record collection. You know, Beatles, Stones, Simon and Garfunkel, and a soundtrack to A Clockwork Orange, which was kind of really shocking kind of record. And I used to listen to it when I was a kid, like we're talking about the 80s. And Clockwork Orange was really notorious. In the UK, the story went that it was banned. It actually wasn't banned, it was Kubrick himself, Kubrick who made the film of it, who withdrew it from cinemas because I think there'd been some like copycat violence. Anyway, you couldn't see it. So it was really notorious. And my parents had the soundtrack. And I think what had happened, they'd seen the film back in 1971-72, been really impressed by a particular soundtrack, and so they bought it. And it's basically Wendy Carlos, who's this brilliant early electronic experimentalist, composer, had found success a few years earlier with Switched on Bach, which was, like, as it suggests, electronic versions of Bach songs. She had sent some of her compositions to Kubrick to soundtrack A Clockwork Orange, and what you get is this really incredibly beautiful but incredibly menacing electronic takes on classical music, and it is amazing. Clockwork Orange soundtrack. I hadn't heard it in a little while. I went back to it and it was like, this is just amazing. I really recommend it. As explained in the piece, there's actually two versions of it, but listen to whichever one you can. And I think it was a record that really impacted my musical tastes. A lot of the stuff I love in electronic music, I really love melody, and I don't particularly like just sort of straight drones and like that kind of thing. I don't find that particularly rewarding, and I think all this might be thanks to Clockwork Orange soundtrack. So, if you want to read the piece, the link is in the bio or down there or wherever. Check out, and also check out Wendy Carlos' soundtrack to A Clockwork Orange. You will not be disappointed.